Well, good morning, everybody. The rain has stopped for a while. This is good news because I can get out and pick my green beans. Now, I keep talking about variety, you know. What you plant is going to matter a lot here in Hawaii. This pole bean right here is called Poamoho, and it comes from the University of Hawaii. It is resistant to both nematodes and bean rust. Both are serious problems here. And as you can see, it looks quite robust. There's a few holes from the Chinese rose beetles, but they don't hurt anything on this. Now, I would like to show you, though, what was one of my favorite beans from France called Vortex. Okay, this is Vortex. It was planted at the same time as Poamoho. As you can see, it is a runted looking. Originally, it actually climbed the poles ahead of Poamoho. It was very vigorous. But then the nematodes and the rust got to it. And you can see all the rusty brown patches all over both the leaves and the beans over here. Plus the nematodes have hit the roots. I got a little picking off of it, but at this point now, there's not much anything left worth picking on there because any beans left have been hit by rust and have black patches on them. Right here you can see what happens. See? Now with Poamoho, I highly recommend you pick the beans when they're quite young. I wouldn't let them get much bigger than that. They're going to get tough, woody, develop a bean in them. Beans are pretty darn good when you pick them at the young stage where they barely span the palm. I see there are a few beans in here that got too large. They're bumpy. Eventually, could leave these to mature to seed, but right now this is still being very productive. I'm going to strip them, get rid of them so that the plant continues to yield well. Well, got the beans. Down there at the base of the beans, you can see I have Roselle. This stuff right here is Roselle, the fruiting hibiscus. Now, previously, there was romaine lettuce under here. I've let a couple of them go to seed. All the others got picked. They were maturing prior to the beans coming on. Now that the beans are coming on, I have Roselle over here where the lettuce used to be. There's also Roselle over here in between where the cabbages were harvested. And so cabbages got cut. They will come back for another try. Usually I'll get smaller heads a second time. But in the meantime, the Roselle's been planted between the cabbages and it will overstory them. So it's okay to do this stuff. Overlap your crops. Okay, well, you can see here the silk is browning. Okay, this corn is not quite ready for market, but if you're picking it for the home garden, for your kitchen, it's time to start. I'm going to take this one off here. We'll show it to you. Okay, now the kernels are still small, but they're colored. This is a bicolor corn, so it's white and yellow. They're on the small side, but it's a pretty good sized patch of corn, and whereas I'll probably turn some over to friends and so on and share it, mostly Ellen and I will eat this by ourselves. And so if I don't start when it's at this stage, then probably what's going to happen is it's going to be too old by the time I get to the other end of the patch. So we start when it's a little young. It's going to reach peak probably within the next week. There's another reason we want to do this. See that brown spot right up there? Okay, that is not an edible part of the corn, really. It's not mature at the tip. That's an earworm. And by removing him now, we don't have any damage to our produce. And so if you start picking early, chances are you're going to catch your earworms before they get too big. it looks like the rain stopped for a while. So anybody interested in shopping for nursery stock, hey, we got it, and we can walk around and actually show it to you today. So, aloha, hang loose, come on down.